color this man father.
Color him father.
I think I'll color him love.
Color him love.
Today,
Said
my
I'm gonna
guest
color
is
him
Michael
love.
Hall Jr. I've just met this young man. There's some rumor mill going around the dad's facility that we might be related, or someone in the organization related to you, and I welcome that. Okay, I feel like every father that comes through the doors, I'm related to him anyway, right? So listen, I want to introduce Michael. Michael has 2 children.
Correct.
And they're preteens.
Yeah, I have a 18-year-old and a 13-year-old, both girls.
Okay.
Yes.
And I'm fascinated about your story because it's very similar to mine's, okay? But I want to start out about the question that I usually ask, and that is, were you raised with a father?
Yes, but no.
Tell me about that.
So my dad was in our household until probably about 10 years old, and then him and my mom got a divorce.
Okay.
And then my mom got remarried within maybe like 2 years after that. So I had a stepdad, but just because a man's in the household doesn't mean he's actually involved in, steering you and, participating actively in your life, So I had a good male role model in the household as far as getting up and going to work, but not really on
Interaction.
interaction.
I got you.
Yeah.
I dropped a ball like that on a couple of my kids because I got them to the house,
Right.
but I didn't know how to interact with
Right.
them, right?
Right.
Which nobody made me understand the importance of that. I was raised in the foster care system.
Correct.
So there was nobody that ever kind of
Showed
guided
you,
me that.
right.
So I understand that thoroughly.
Right.
But I always say this, sometimes we have to look beyond that to how was that man raised and who was the father figure in his life and things of that nature. Does that make any sense to you?
Perfect sense, because me and my dad actually had that conversation about a week ago.
Wow.
And his dad was a hell of a provider, not just for him, but for other people, other families. But when it came to, showing love, and he didn't know how to do it.
He didn't
show it like
Yeah,
that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe to the girls, the daughters, but definitely not to the boys. So my dad is, he's starting to work on that now that he's older, and you know what I'm saying, he's recognizing his mistakes. You know what I'm saying? And we talked about that.
Wow, that's amazing, because in our culture, most black men didn't know how to display that. So most of us went to the streets to try to figure that out, right?
Correct.
And we all had a different mindset. Like
Yes.
the more women you had, that meant that you was a man and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
right? But would you sell that to your son today if that was?
Well, I'm hoping to have a son, but I definitely wouldn't sell it to my daughters.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't advocate that for my son either.
Amen.
Not my nephews.
Amen.
Not my little cousins.
Amen.
No.
So in order to do better, we got to show them better, though, right?
Correct.
Right.
You're definitely
And so,
right.
so I want to commend you on one thing, though. Having the conversation with your father, man, that's big hops right there, bro. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
a whole lot of us can't have that conversation. You know what I mean?
You're right. It takes forgiveness, but it also takes that that's still my father, and he still deserves a certain level of respect.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, and just because he wasn't there prior or previous, it doesn't mean that I can't have him involved in my life now, and that I can't bring closure to those situations. You know what I'm saying? And have healing to make me a better man moving forward, thus bringing it to the younger generations. Like, I don't have a son, but I have little cousins and nephews, and they need to know what it's like, because more of my nephew, his dad's present, but all my cousins, their dads are not present. And it is important to break the cycle, you know, and you can't break the cycle until you're healed.
Wow. That's. I give you props for that, man. You know what I mean? That's a big one, man. Because I always say this, and you've heard me say this. A father's job is to prepare his children for a future that he will never see. Well, as a man, we have to prepare our nieces and nephews and all. We gotta, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We gotta do that, right?
Huge responsibility.
Yes.
Huge responsibility.
Yes. And who else is gonna do it if we don't do it, right?
You're right. I mean, they got somebody out there that want to do it for us, but we definitely shouldn't let them do it for us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Oh man, so I get that about your father and your relationship and the forgiveness piece, which is huge, right?
Right.
So how is that reflected on your daughters?
I'm blessed because I've missed time with my daughters for my own selfish reasons and fears, but they've always wanted to seek dad. The kids always want their parents. It doesn't really matter what you've really done. The kids they see past that because they want their parent, especially if they're absent. So I'm blessed to have both my daughters actively in my life, you know what I'm saying, and wanting a relationship with me, even though I've been kind of like hesitant on not really wanting a relationship with them and not being responsible to build and to slow down to have that relationship with them. So,
well, let me ask you something. At what point did you realize the value of having those relationship with your girls? Something had to click. So when was it and what was it?
Mine was always at birth. I was there for both of their births. I'm on both birth certificates. But, you know, I came to a realization and started wanting to be a father. You know what I'm saying? Some people be like, well, somebody told me, a lady actually told me. I said, yeah, I'm finally ready. I said, I'm finally, you know, I told her something about I'm finally ready to, you know what I'm saying, go back to, you know what I'm saying, the process of, you know, restoring, you know, parental rights. And she said, and I gave her she asked me a question. I gave her some BS answer. And she said, no, you're finally ready to be involved in their life right now. And I was kind of offended, right? And then she said, that's the truth though, right? And that's the truth, that I always knew it was important. I always wanted to do it, but I didn't make that choice when it was time to make that choice. I ran from it. I ran from the responsibility.
You know, I think as an African-American man, I think most of us did. I did, right?
Yeah.
And then something clicked in mine. I was a crack addict. I'd lost my kids to the state, and now I got 3 new children. I have 8 children. I got 3 new children, and I was raised in the foster care system.
Correct.
Now my children are being raised in the foster care system, right? I'm like, if I didn't like it, what made me think they gonna like it, right?
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So then it was like, okay, well, I need to do whatever I need to do.
Right.
I don't think I really understood the depth of that understanding, but it didn't make a difference, right?
Right.
And then I found the lowest denominator. I don't mean that I was low or that it was low. I found the lowest denominator that would allow me to stay involved, right?
Correct.
And that denominator was the fact that at that time my kids came home, most of their friends' parents had been addicts like I had been, right? And my denominator for me was I just wanted to be at home when my kids came home from school every day.
Right.
So when somebody said, well, where's your daddy at? He at the house.
Right.
Or he at work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I mean? I had never been able to responsibly give my children that, right?
Correct.
So that denominator for me was good, and then we just got up and went to church every Sunday.
Right.
I don't know if I was really understanding everything that I was going through, but I just got up and went to church because it kept me involved in my kids' lives, right? And then years later, that was in 1998. I was 42 years old, right?
Man.
Then when I turned 54, I had another baby.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Still rocking and rolling. I'm hoping I'm able to do that at 54.
But here's what came out of that. I realized that my other 7 children, I wasn't married to their mother when I had them children.
Okay.
But my 8th child, I was married to her mother, and we have it. And she has a different onset outlook. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Her confidence is through the roof, and I've only learned that since I've been watching her.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And so it realizes then that I did sow a minus seed, right? Now, there's nothing I can do about it. I ask God for forgiveness, and I pour into my children. They love me just as much, right?
Correct.
But I see how much more that this little 14-year-old, I mean, man, went to see her do a play, right? And, man, she's doing the lead role in the play and got confidence out of this world, right?
Right.
Well, I didn't really, I never seen that in me, you know what I mean, until I got buck wild and I had all the confidence in the world, right?
Correct.
And then I didn't see that in my other children, right? Like the confidence she had.
Can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think that comes from, when you're there every day, when they're waking up to you and you're putting them to sleep, it's a different connection. You know what I'm saying? And that is what brings confidence. You feel me? Your kids gain confidence off of seeing that they're every day, and at that age, once they get to middle school, really elementary, they start noticing that there's some kids in their classrooms that dads is coming to pick them up every day, or dads is at the plays, or dads is at all these events, and then there's some kids that their dads ain't there, period.
Right.
And that's just what it is. You just rub off on them. You know what I'm saying? By that everyday presence being there, it's important.
That's wonderful that you picked that up, right?
Yeah.
I could tell that's something that you've come across, and you realize that's a fulfillment that as a father you gotta.
Yeah, I gotta start being there. It hurt. I mean, in a way, it does hurt because like my 18-year-old says, "Well, Dad, you didn't really fight for me," and I'm like, "We did," and I don't want to never tell and speak bad on her mother's side. You know what I'm saying? Especially when she was under 18. That's not healthy. Now, when you get to a certain age, we could talk about my side of the story compared to their side of the story. And there's always going to be two sides. But, you know what I'm saying, I got the opportunity to fight for the younger one, you know what I'm saying, my 13-year-old right now. And my 18-year-old is like, yeah, Dad. You know what I mean? And
she's supportive.
She's very supportive of that. And it kind of hurts me because I'm like, dang, but like you said, you got to move past that, ask for forgiveness and keep going forward. But that also lets me know that, you know what I'm saying, just how important it is to be a father. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, here's the thing that has become very clear to me. Your kids want to know that you have the ability to fight for them because they're going to fight for you.
They're going to fight for you.
You know what I'm saying?
They're going to fight for you.
They're going to fight for you, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a lot of times, we don't give them credit for the fight because they're young, they're kids. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And we're caught up in our own
no
chaos.
No question.
Right.
But I realized now for me, what I had to do was put all that chaos to the side, and I had to just deal with the fact that this child loves me unconditionally.
Correct.
And the child's gonna do whatever they gotta do to make sure. I watch my daughter, man, my youngest child, go to blows with my wife for her father.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, I don't mean she balls her fist up. Now,
right,
I just mean, Mom, now you shouldn't do that because dad ain't. I mean, I was like, what? You know what I mean? Yeah. I just back out the way, man. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
Because who can get a better punch through than I can't? You know what I'm saying?
All the kids they're gonna tell it like it is.
Exactly. you know. So I'm thankful for that, and I'm thankful that that as fathers we get a chance to witness that and participate in that, man.
Correct.
So, man, I'm just really stoked about it. So tell me a little bit about what you're getting out of the class, and is the class being helpful to you or what?
Yeah, it is. And, the first thing is that what the class is basically reiterating to us, you know what I'm saying? A lot of us feel like we're getting fresh, but no, it's already in us. It's just bringing us out in a safe environment where men can actually learn how to be men, not just males, because a man is responsible and he takes care of his business. It's about that action, right?
Right.
So this program is, you know what I'm saying, it also gives me the secure, you know what I'm saying, feeling that while I'm going through the process of, you know, establishing this parental, you know, parenting plan, that I know it's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? I just got to go through the process. You know what I'm saying? They're giving me the guidance. They're giving me the steps. You know what I'm saying? And they can't take them for me, but they'll take them with me. You know what I'm saying? And to have that support, you know, around positive people that came from and came through the same situations that you're coming through, you know what I'm saying, and going through, and they're like, look, you got this. You know what I'm saying? This is all you got to do, because you're here.
Yeah.
But we got a track record.
Yeah.
All you got to do is show up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy, ain't it?
Right.
That's crazy, man.
You know?
It's. I say that because somebody said, and I'll look for your answer to this one. But somebody said, "What do you do at DADS? What do you guys do at DADS?" And I tell them, "Oh, what we do at DADS is listen. That's what we do."
Correct.
Because people have so many times come through the door and said, "Man, ain't nobody listening to. Don't nobody hear me. They don't understand, man." You know what I'm saying?
You're definitely right, man. It's a lot of people that are in the outreach program that are not in it just for, you know, the outreach. I feel like the couple organizations that I've been blessed to participate in right now are really here. If they didn't get paid, you know, if they didn't get the funding, that they still would be in my corner. And that's what's different about a lot of other programs. And then also, you walk in the room and you see yourself. You know what I'm saying? And you see positive versions of yourself when they tell us that there's not, you know, too many positive versions of ourselves because they poisoned our environment purposely, you know, with starting back with the Willie Lynch newsletters.
Yeah.
You know? And so to see people that actually really care, they look you in your eyes, they ask you how you're doing, they remember your name. That's important, man. Not only do they got all the connections in the world, but to see you as an actual person and to treat you like an actual person and make you feel welcome, man, that's big in our community right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's missing. It's really missing.
Wow.
But it's out there if you want to find it.
Hey, man, you know, God told us 3 things at DADS, man. Years and years ago, he said, don't go looking for anything because what you need, I'll bring it to your front door.
Yeah.
Don't charge anybody anything for your services, and what I give you, give it away.
Yeah.
And I've tried to maintain those things. My team has tried to maintain those 3 things for the last 26 years. And you're why.
Thank you.
You're why. You're the reason why. Because I knew that I wasn't the only one or going to be the only one. Right? So, but I wanted to make sure that nobody else got treated like I did when I first showed up. You feel what I'm saying?
Man, the pioneers had it worse. You know what I'm saying? But I'm grateful. You know what I'm saying? We're grateful for hearing it. You know what I'm saying? So we're grateful for you.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
But,
Amen.
you know,
Yeah,
for real.
I'm good with that, man. I'm good. Those are how I get my thank yous. My thank yous come in the form of seeing you with your kids. You feel what I'm saying?
Man, yeah.
Seeing that 10 years from now, that your relationship with your grandkids is off the hook based on what you sacrificed to want to be in that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Those are my rewards, man. And I want to make sure that just like I got a chance to see him and feel him, that you get a chance to do that too, man.
Absolutely.
Hey, man, Michael, I'm glad that I got a chance to hook up with you, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it, too.
We can share this mic together.
Yes,
now,
sir.
I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to bring you back in this room in 10 to 12 weeks because I want to see where you are and what's changed in your life since you've been taking this class.
I'll be here. I'll be here.
Okay.
Yes,
good,
sir.
Good looking out, man.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you again, my brother.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
All right.